My name is Maddie Kim, and I go to High Rock Arlington, and I'm a senior in high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was a really avid soccer player, and I had two back-to-back injuries. Where the first I fractured my ankle, and the second I developed something called compartment syndrome in my shins, which didn't allow me to run. I couldn't even walk because it was so painful, and so that I had to take a step back from soccer and get surgery to recover from that. Before those injuries, I was playing soccer essentially 6 days, 6 to 7 days a week. I was playing in New Hampshire at a club. So shout out to my parents who drove me almost every day, like 2 hours there, 1 hour back. And soccer was everything in my life. And I went to church on Sundays and I went to youth group every once in a while, but soccer definitely took up most of my time and my focus and my energy. Once I got those injuries, I was forced to take a step back, which just changed my perspective on everything in life. After I got injured, I think I realized how much of my identity was tied to soccer, specifically my performance. And the highs of soccer became my highs, just emotionally, mentally. Um, and then the lows also became my lows. And so, because it was so tied together, it felt when I wasn't able to play soccer, I didn't really know who I was. God kind of came into that picture when I was invited to serve at Summer Blast with one of my friends who goes to High Rock, and she's part of the youth group. And I hadn't been a part of a youth group or any service in a really long time. And so this was just something at first to just take up some of the time, the free time that I had, that soccer had left. But it really became an experience where God was working through all sorts of different people and through me. And it helped me like develop my identity, not just as like someone outside of soccer, but as a daughter or a child of Christ. Because soccer was such a strong or a significant part of my life, and I had so much energy there, I realized how like little time I was devoting to my faith, which is, and because of that, I feel like my faith got kind of like sidetracked. And so when I was really forced to take a step back and just put everything into perspective and realize that, kind of like I said before, with when the highs of soccer became my highs and then the lows of soccer became my lows, with God, everything became more balanced. I felt like less extreme emotions. There was less like doubting of myself and my worth, especially when it's just like one performance, one game, one practice. That does not determine who I am and what my worth is. It's all I've really learned that it comes from God, and yeah, he's something that's always constant, and that's something that I didn't really have in soccer, and I can't really find anywhere else. Since my injury, I've returned to soccer like only partially, but when I am playing and in not just soccer, but like in anywhere in life, I try not to base my self worth on my accomplishments. Instead, I try to think about how I'm loved by God and how God values me, and He fearfully and wonderfully made me, and that's like a verse that's always stuck with me. Just having my faith not as just like a something on the side, but really as the center of my life, and everything else is around that central like idea and that foundation. That's influenced just my perspective on when I approach anything that takes up a lot of my time, or just anything in general, like in all the decisions that I've made. And I miss soccer a lot, but I found so much joy in being like back in God's community. Like I've loved serving. I have my sixth grade girls in middle school youth group, and then my third graders on Sunday mornings. And I find so much joy and excitement, and I learn so much from people who are younger than me, people who are my age, people who are older than me, who just supported me, because leaving soccer was a really difficult decision. I went through a lot of struggles, but I was able to figure out what God wanted to do with my life. And I'm still learning, but it's something that I've loved sharing with others.